Welcome to another episode of MPtv for Tuesday, February 20th. Today we're here with Tony on Parliamentary. And Tony here is protesting, well, here I'll let him explain it to you, sir.
Well, I started with against abortion years ago, 1989, first came up here. But then it got into issues of homosexuality, euthanasia, and eventually I had to include contraception in all of that because I found that contraception was at the sort of the center of all of it.
If there was one piece of legislation you'd like to see changed, sir, what would that be?
Well, I guess it would be the abortion bill. I would want legislation to protect the unborn. We need that. Like we're losing, with surgical abortions, we're losing 105,000 children every year, murdering them, slaughtering them. I think that's basic, it's fundamental. Unless you have the right to life, all the other rights don't mean anything. It's fundamental.
How effective do you find your protests to be?
Well, I guess, as I said, just keeping the issue alive is important. And there was a fellow named, I think his name is Jim Sedlak in the States, who has an organization called STOPP, Stop Planned Parenthood. And he said, you know, one person can create a controversy. So I take that to heart.
That's your goal, to create a controversy?
Well, in the sense of, yes, keeping this issue alive so that we don't think of it as, you know, that we've got social peace on this, as former Prime Minister John Chrétien said. We haven't got social peace on abortion. And we won't have until we get good legislation protecting the unborn.
Are you for totally against abortion, or are there some cases in which you would find it perhaps necessary, I guess would be the word?
Well, strictly speaking, like abortion, strictly speaking, would be the intentional killing of a child in the womb. And that would never be condoned in any circumstances in my... Like, you can't take the life of an innocent person for any reason whatsoever. Now, if in trying to save the life of one or the other or both, you lose the mother or the child, that's not murder or anything like that. You do the best you can to save both. If you lose one, that's not abortion. Abortion is the intentional killing of the child in order to save the mother or in order to whatever else.
Have you seen a definite shift in society's ideals or attitudes concerning abortion? Do you think it's less controversial now for some people, or especially in the mainstream, with the advent of contraception, that kind of thing? Or what are your thoughts on that, sir?
Well, I do think we're gaining ground. I think they're gaining ground more so in the United States, but I think we are gaining ground. I think the opinion or attitude towards abortion is changing. I don't think people support it nearly as much as they used to. And as we show the truth about abortion, you know, with graphic images especially, then I think people will even change their opinions even more against abortion. So I think we're gaining ground.
You said contraception has been tied in with euthanasia and same-sex marriage and abortion now. Could you just explain that for us, please?
When I first came up here, I was always trying to get people, pro-life people, to keep abortion and contraception separate. I said there's separate issues. But as I read, I began to see that contraception is right at the heart of it all. Like all the mainline churches were opposed to contraception until 1930, when the Anglicans in the Lambeth Conference decided that in extreme cases contraception would be allowed. Well, as we know, I think all of the mainline churches, except the Catholic Church, has pretty well accepted contraception as okay. But contraception leads to abortion, and we've had more contraception in the last 50 years, 60 years than ever before, and all of the claims that contraception was going to, you know, solve different problems, it hasn't worked out. We've got more pregnancies, more unwanted pregnancies, more STDs, more troubled marriages, more divorces. All the things that contraception was hopefully going to help solve did not turn out to be true. And once you open the gates to, well, when you separate the life-giving act of the sexual act from the love-giving act, when you separate those two, we have no real strong argument against homosexual activity or any other sexual activity, because they're all infertile. If we heterosexuals want to have sex without consequences, then why can't other people have it? You know, so contraception, I'm quite convinced now, is at the heart of all these problems. That's why one of my signs there, if you'll notice, says contraception has corrupted society.
How hopeful do you feel that everything will change according to your goals, sir?
Well, I'm always hopeful because really God is in charge. You know, this is his household that's all messed up, and he's not losing sleep over it because he has it all in hand and will bring about a change of hearts and minds when the time is right. So I'm eternally hopeful and optimistic.
And one last question, sir. Do you yourself have any children?
No, I don't. No, I'm a celibate. I'm a priest.
Oh, I'm sorry. Of course. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, sir, and good luck to you.
Thank you very much.